So,
Okay.
welcome everybody. I'm Tracey-Jane Hughes from Manage Those Things and the Business Cheerleading Club. And today I'm delighted to welcome and introduce you to Alice Andreat from Fabulous with Alice. And she is fabulous. She's always fabulous. Who is going to help us, and me in particular, with some live video tips, which essentially is helping us to create fabulous video for our websites, our Facebook pages, wherever it is we want to share video. Is that right, Alice?
Yes,
You know,
everywhere.
excellent.
Wherever you
so,
want to
so,
go.
so tell me, Alice, how did you get into this sort of live video stuff? What's your background in
Um,
video?
my background has nothing to do with video, if you can believe that. It actually started, my passion for live video started when I was trying to teach my son how to read, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird, but he was struggling. He couldn't read. He was struggling to read in school. They put him in a special program at school. And he was really into YouTube videos at the time for drawing. And I really wanted to help him. And one of our favorite children's book authors had a live story time on Facebook. And so I thought, I wonder if he would be interested in that. And I asked him, would you like to do a live story time where you read? You'd be the star of the video. And he was like
Okay.
so excited about that. And so I told him, okay, pick a book. We'll practice it ahead of time, right? And then we will read it. And I know copyright issues, so we had the author's permission as long as we deleted it within
Yeah.
24 hours. So there was none of those
Okay.
issues, just so you know. But
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's important, copyright's important. We want to follow that.
It
And
is.
he just took off. He was such a little star. He went from, like, right now, a couple years later, he is reading 2 grade levels above where he was. So
Oh, wow.
he started out in a special program, reading program, and now he is just like a master reader. He's always got a book in his hand, and the live video really did that for him. And not just for him, but we had a lot of feedback from other people whose children were getting excited about the live videos and wanting to read along. So it just had this really great impact for him and for
Wow.
others. And I just realized how powerful live video could be. And I just became obsessed with it after that.
Well,
So
that's a fantastic story. So does he still do videos with his storytelling?
sometimes he does. We do a lot more private videos now with
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
because it just, I don't know, we talked about it and it got a little weird having him public, for us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have some private secret groups on
Yeah.
Facebook, and
Yeah.
he will do his readings for family and friends that way now. So,
Yeah.
but he still
Oh,
loves
how
it. Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. So it was great.
And how I mean, your story and your passion from what I know about you, Alice, it is around sales and marketing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're now doing, is sort of sharing your video knowledge and this fantastic story you've got
Yep.
of how fabulous video can be, and bringing that into the business field. So just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in a form of sales or marketing for over 24 years. So, whether it be corporate sales, I actually did nonprofit fundraising things, um, and really became, I would say, excited about entrepreneurship and building businesses over the years, just as a parent, wanting flexibility and making my own schedule. And so working with business owners has always been something that I wanted to do to help them get to where they want to be.
Yeah.
And once I fell in love with live video and I saw the power that could have just for children's reading,
Yeah.
um, it really transformed that and made the connection of, ooh, for business. Just think of how powerful this tool is to educate people about your products and services, that you can really reach them and help them. So it just sort of all came together that way for me. So
yeah, fantastic.
mm-hmm.
I'm just stopping because I'm not sure that everything is working correctly.
Okay.
Oh, Amanda, can you see us and hear us okay? Just give me a thumbs up. I know we've got Amanda with us today, but I've got it on my phone and it's not quite opened, but okay, she might not be. Okay, well, we'll carry on
I'm
because
trying to
I think
look. I
it's
have it up on my laptop,
okay.
and I don't have the volume on because we'll get a weird echo in here. But
Yeah.
I do see us up on the
Okay.
screen, and you have the banner at the bottom, so it looks to be going good.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
On my phone, it just says it should start soon. So who
Oh,
knows?
because that might be the pre-scheduled
Yeah.
spot,
Okay.
but I had it. I
Well,
don't know. It seems to be.
this is where we go with
This
live
is
video, isn't it,
right,
Alice?
right, right. Well, it's always interesting because when you're going live native right through Facebook, there's a little bit of a difference than when you're using really cool apps like the Be Live. So
Yeah.
there's always now you have two options or two possibilities of technical glitches, not just from Facebook's end, but now also from Be Live, and it happens. It's tech stuff happens all the time. We're used
Yeah,
to
it
it.
does.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I know you've
So
had some tech issues. I've had tech issues. I mean,
yes.
everybody. I've seen even some of the biggest stars that have tech issues while they're live. So it's you just have to go with it when it happens.
That's fair enough. I mean,
Hmm.
it's telling me that we're live, so yeah, let's keep
So,
going.
so we must be. So we must be.
So, Alice, there are all sorts of different ways that people can go live and do stuff live. From your phone to your
Hmm.
laptop to like you say on Facebook directly, and then there's all these other bits of software and kit that you can get and buy and
Hmm.
pay for, and you can now do lives
Yeah.
on LinkedIn and all
Oh,
sorts of
yes.
things,
Mm.
and Periscope, and what's your preferred, where do you like to be with your lives?
Where do I like that? I like to be on Facebook.
Okay.
With having over 2 billion users and over a billion active users every day. For business purposes, that's where a lot of the people are. So that's where I want to be. But I am
Okay.
very excited about the LinkedIn Live. So
Yes.
I'm very excited about that for sure.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I saw a post just pop up in my feed on LinkedIn yesterday that said, oh, I'm not sure I like these new videos on LinkedIn. I just scroll past them, and it's just like, well, yeah, that might not be, the video might not be right for everybody,
Right.
but there are a lot of people that like to connect directly, and having that direct conversation with somebody through a live, I guess, is that next step for some people.
Yeah.
What's your view on that?
Yeah, I think it is personal for people if they prefer video. I actually have some friends and some business associates that I'm connected with that just they want nothing to do with video. They don't like to watch it. They don't want to do them. They do a little bit of them because they know other people want them.
Yeah.
So it's really personal. If you're in business, I think having some form of video content is probably smart because so many people
Okay.
do use it. So having something, and not just video, but I think live video really gives you an opportunity to connect with your customers, especially now when so much of what we do is online and it
Yeah.
feels a little less personal and connected to people. To be able to talk to somebody and say their name and say, hi, Tracey-Jane, or hi, Alice. Like that just, it gives you that feeling of, wow, I know this person, or this person knows me, they see me. And that can be really powerful to build and grow an audience when you do that live video.
Yeah. So as you said, I've had some technical difficulties since I've been starting doing these, and we've got through them. And it's been fun, and it's all part of the learning experience. And there'll be some people that watch this and pick this up, and a lot of some of them that in my business cheerleading club that are wanting to do live videos but don't know where to start. So there's all sorts. There's a whole range, Alice, of people that either are just starting and want to get into video, or are currently doing video and know I can do better. I look at the two of us on the screen at the moment, and you're beautifully lit up, and I'm sort of in the dark. And but I also know, and I've read, somewhere when I've been doing my research, that I don't need to spend a lot of money on lighting and cameras and all of that. So what are your top tips to help us get going with our video, or do it a bit better than we're doing now?
That's a great question. Very great question. And I want you to know that I understand when you're starting out in video, you don't necessarily want to invest a whole lot of money into something you're not sure is going to even work for you. So why would you do that? And so many people have limited space. I'm live on my phone right now. It's just my iPhone, so that's what I'm on. And my lighting isn't anything. It's lamps. I have lamps, right?
Okay.
I turn one of them off. I mean, literally a lamp without a shade on it. It's slightly elevated. There's two of them, one on this side of me and this side of me, sort of off center. And they're slightly elevated because I wear glasses, and I don't want the light bulb right in my eye. But it's two lamps. You need multiple sources of light. If you just have one light in front of you, it can create shadows and do weird things. But if you want to be lit up, that's all I did. I bought those lamps at a yard sale for $10. So,
so I mean, the room that I use as my office has what we call is Velux lighting. So it's a pitch roof, and I've got windows, two windows on each side of the roof. Okay, right. So and we've got a downlight in the roof. So sometimes when I've done these, I've had the light on because it's been darker than it is now. Right. But other times it feels like I've got too much shadow, so I don't bother with the light. Right. So does your two light situation sort of cover all eventualities?
Yes. There's a couple of key things, right? The first one is that when you have your light bulbs, you want to look for light bulbs that say the description is natural or sunlight bulbs. Soft white does not work because it's yellow. It casts a weird color, and that's not good for most people. It's not good. But the natural...
Okay, so natural...
Right.
Natural light bulbs.
Right. Or daylight, some sort of description along those lines. And you definitely need to, because if I turn one of mine off, I'm not quite as lit. There's like shadow happening here because the lamp is actually on that side. But so one lamp it's better than none, but two, and they're the equivalent. These are LED bulbs, but they're the equivalent of like a 60-watt bulb. Okay. So you can get that lighting to feel lit up without the stuff. And like I said, glasses, just elevate them so that the bulb isn't right here with you, right? Because if it is, then it's going to be in your glasses the whole time. As I move around and talk, you'll catch glimpses, but that's not a big deal. Nobody cares about that. It's not. Even news anchors who wear glasses are happy if they only catch a glimpse once in a while, right?
Oh, okay. So,
So with lighting, because they have lighting everywhere, right? It's almost hard to avoid. So, but just some lamps. I just moved, so I don't have a lot of space right now. There's boxes everywhere still. I don't have room for a lot of equipment right now. Eventually I
Okay.
will, and I'm going to make space for that. But in the meantime, these lamps work. It costs me
Yeah.
$10 for the lamps and a couple of bucks for
Yeah.
the bulbs. And
Yeah.
if it's not broke, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to fix it. So for
Yeah.
now, that works for me. So I like it,
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, would you say that lighting is probably the biggest thing to get right?
No, well, lighting is good.
Or okay.
Audio is really
Ah.
important. Audio is really important. It
Making
is.
sure my microphone works is the first
Yes.
thing I do now.
Right.
For,
Yes.
for, for, for those that don't know, my very first Facebook Live was done without my audio sounding. My guest was extremely patient, and I was typing my questions into the chat box for her, and she was answering them absolutely brilliantly. She was a perfect interviewee because I thought that you could hear. And of course, when I came to the recording, nobody could hear what I was saying. So it's actually quite funny now, Alice, and I've
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot from that. So what can we do to get our audio right then?
Well, practice is a good thing and testing it out ahead of time. I don't have any fancy microphones. I have one microphone for when I actually just record videos, but for my lives, because I need to hear and talk, especially during an interview, I just use earbuds. Most people already have these, and
Yeah.
it's great to have the earbuds, but I would definitely practice. One of my biggest tips, if you want to get used to doing live videos, is to actually practice doing live videos, which I know sounds a little scary, right? But I created a secret Facebook group, and
Okay.
when you create a group, you have to add someone to it. So I added my mom to it, right? And then I removed her from it. So now it's just me in there. And so whenever I want to test something out and see how it looks, I'm testing it out on the platform I'm using it on, because it could be great to test out on your camera, on your video camera,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the same functionalities that the Facebook app and the live video does. So
Yeah.
you can test those things out. You can test out your lighting, your microphone, the way that you add your texts and
Yeah.
headings for your Be Live app. You can
Yeah.
practice all of that stuff right in there in private and
Yeah.
work out some of the kinks and test your lighting and your angles and things like that so that you can
Okay.
feel a little bit more comfortable with the
Yeah.
basics. You can test it out there. It's pretty easy to do. And then if you want feedback, you can always ask a trusted friend or colleague and add them into the group and let them check
Yeah.
out some practice things you've done and get feedback from them. That's a great way to do it too.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Within the Business Cheerleading Club this week, we've had a workshop from a guy talking us through how to do our 60-second pitches,
Yes.
and we're then going to share our own 67 pitches in the group so that each of us can get feedback on that. So not only
Mm-hmm.
the words, but also the video element as well, because like I say, a lot of the group are wanting to, do more video in their businesses. So, it's having that safe space, isn't it? And those trusted
Yes.
friends that can help you with that and go, actually, if you move things over slightly or don't have that pot plant sticking out the top of your head, it'll make a difference. And
Mm-hmm.
because it's where you're sitting on the screen. We're both at different levels on the screen
Mm-hmm.
that people are seeing. So, where
Exactly.
do you advise? Where do you advise people to sort of look or put themselves on a screen when they're looking at themselves, like we are now?
What is their best position on
Yeah,
camera?
yeah, yeah.
Something they can test out for regular videos. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Um,
Okay.
really. A little off center is less aggressive feeling on
Okay.
video, so a little off center. On live videos, I like to tell people to try to stay a little more to the right
Okay.
because comments tend to come up right through here. Um,
Okay.
and when those comments come up, if you're over here and you're down too low, they come up like right over your face. Not
Yeah.
that that's not changeable. You rotate your phone, but if someone actually wants to watch it in that view, there's ways around it. But when you're doing live, if you sort of just want to optimize for that interaction a little bit and keep those
Yeah.
comments out of your face, you can kind of scooch over. Although because we're on
Okay.
split screen, I'm checking over here to see, and I look a little far over, so I keep like scooting myself to make sure I'm not like off camera, because on here through the app, I don't have the direct visual of what it looks like on
That's
Facebook.
right.
So I have to
Yes.
pull it up over here to look and see what it's doing, which is why I say test it out in that secret group or in
Yes.
a great community
Yes.
like you have.
Yeah.
That's supportive and can give that feedback. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than that. There really isn't.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
great way
brilliant.
to go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again with Be Live, just to sort of tie this one up that I'm doing these through the comments are coming across the bottom here.
Yeah.
So I had one interviewee that she was scooted so low that I couldn't put any comments up because they would just covered her face. So
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't share the tips like I'm doing with you directly, just to if people are bobbing in and just looking at us rather than listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that with that particular guest. So
Right.
again, it's about, like you say, it's about seeing what works for you. And I guess every single platform is slightly different, every single
Mm-hmm.
bit of software. So not everybody has to use Be Live if they're
Yeah.
doing videos. And
Mm-mm.
if they're just doing a single themselves doing a video to their audience, how do you recommend that they do that, Alice?
If they're just going to do a live video on
Yeah,
Facebook for
yeah,
their audience, yeah, they can
yeah.
just use their phone.
Okay,
Use your phone and test it out in a private area and adjust your. I like to make sure there isn't too much space from my head
okay,
because there's a lot of empty space around.
yeah,
And other than that, I just like to make sure that, I'm in good view of the camera. I prefer that landscape view versus the portrait. That's just my personal
okay,
preference on the orientation of the video. But that's also personal. If I was doing a quick I'm out in my car and something came up and I want to go live about it, then, holding your phone in portrait is great, right?
okay.
That's fine. And just, yeah, I prefer that when you're doing the lives, it just gives a better view. Facebook, I think, likes it better. I don't know. It looks better
Yeah,
when
I
you.
I think you end up with the two sides being blanked out, don't you? If you do it in
Yes.
portrait on
Yes, and
Facebook.
it makes it more difficult to repurpose because that's a really great thing about live video is that you can then download it, you can edit it, you can repurpose it for other things and post it in other areas, other
Yeah,
platforms. And if you do it in this landscape mode, you don't get that. I mean, if you're really good with editing, you could fill in those sides and do some stuff, which, I don't want to take the time to to
yeah,
have to
yeah,
play around with too much editing. Cutting
yeah,
off a little snippet at the beginning and the end and whatever is
yeah,
fine. But yeah,
yeah,
so it's just nicer for repurposing. If you
yeah,
ever, even if you're not sure how you'd repurpose them right now,
yeah,
it's repurposable in the future for that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I prefer
I
that.
Yeah. So what do you use then, Alice, to do that chopping the front bit off and chopping the end bit off?
I just use my
In terms of,
iPhone,
oh,
my
okay,
iMovie. It loads right in. It's easy to use. I mean, there are other editing softwares out there and
yeah,
things that you can play around with if you're actually really good at that. Editing
Yeah.
is not my thing.
Yeah.
So the iMovie, I just pull it up and add it in there, and it's pretty simple to use.
Perfect.
It's, yeah, pretty easy. So I just use that. I'm telling you, you do not have to have a lot
Yeah.
of fancy equipment. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make your videos look great or to repurpose them in any way. It's pretty simple. You can start with the
Yeah.
basics, and then if you want more, do more. If you want
Yeah.
the fancy lighting, if you want fancier equipment and it's really something you're going to get into, then go for it. But
Yeah.
you don't have to. You can
Yeah.
stick with the basics when you're starting out and keep it simple.
Okay.
Less to worry about if you keep it simple.
It definitely. So, Alice, we're almost done with our time together, and
Okay.
it's flown by, gone so fast.
I
But
know.
what would if someone's just starting, thinking about doing, a Facebook Live for the first time? What are your what's your checklist, if you like, or have you got something that they can look at to get them ready for live?
Yeah, actually, I just did put up a free download, which is what I call my quick start formula for Facebook Live.
Okay.
And it actually covers the before, during, and after of your live video with a couple of quick points for you. And that includes before your content, like how to come up with your content, how to structure
Okay.
your content, um, how to present the content. And it's a very basic, simple formula that it's just there to get you started, get you on the live, five,
Okay.
10 minutes to just get comfortable with it and then
Yeah.
off, so
Yeah.
something really simple till you get comfortable. And then you can start stretching out your shows and your platform and your topics
Yeah.
and cover more
Yeah.
things. But the quick start formula, super simple, even for somebody who's never done it or somebody who's maybe
Yeah.
dabbled and stumbled with it a
Okay.
little and didn't feel comfortable. Super
Yeah.
easy, super easy. Super
Brilliant.
easy. Yeah. So
Okay.
get it. And I'd love anybody who
And
gets it.
that's
I'd love their feedback. Any questions or
brilliant.
comments about it. If they want to get it, grab it. They can always reply to me, send me a message, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will put your Facebook page down in the comments box as well
Okay.
afterwards. But they can get that free download from that web address. Is that right?
Yes.
So fabulous.micahjarby.com, and that's
Yep.
where the download is that they
That's
can
where it's
they can
at.
download, and
Mm-hmm.
they can get going straight away.
Yes,
So,
they could.
and without lights, I mean, I don't have lights here, but I'm still doing a Facebook Live. So,
You are, and you look fabulous anyway. You look fabulous.
You, Alice.
You
Thank you.
you are the light, Tracey-Jane. You are the light.
Oh, thank you. Well, that has been a quick whistle-stop tour of some brilliant tips for doing live videos. And, that whichever platform you're using, just getting it right. And like you say, just practicing and doing it. And having someone like you, Alice, that people can ask questions of or go, oh, can you just help me with? It's great to know that there's people like you there that can help us with, with these silly questions, is what I keep saying to people.
Well, it's questions, but it's also, as business owners, we're so busy. Who has time to research every single thing? So sometimes having that one person that sort of dedicates their time to that, that you can sort of tap into, that's great, because that's one of the signs of, great business sense is when to outsource things, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you need to do that.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alice. It's been brilliant to have you. And
Thank
I've
you.
learnt a lot. And I'm going to go and get some, I'm going to play with the lights that we've got in the
Yeah.
house and see if they're going to be right, because I don't have anywhere to hook them at the moment. So I might have to do a bit of a rearrange, or, get something to stand in front of where I do these videos. And
Yeah.
so again, it's going to be a bit of playing, but I
Yes,
will
play
see what I
around.
can do.
Yeah,
And that's
test it
all
out.
good.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear how your experimenting goes.
Yes, I will definitely. I'll let you into my secret group, which I'm also going to set up, I think, practice a few
Okay,
things.
there you go. Practice. That's right. Get right
Yes.
on it. All right. I like that.
So, Alice, we can find you on Facebook at Fabulous with Alice. And we can find you on your website, that you've got that fabulous download that people can use as well.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
If anybody wants to join the Business Cheerleading Club, I will put the link below. And again, you can practice with a slightly bigger group than just just yourself or your mum in your group. So and we might get Alice back later on and do some more tips with us. So that's been absolutely brilliant.
I would love it.
Thank you
I would
so
love
much.
it. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.